Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Wednesday. This is Devils After Dark, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios inside the bunker in an undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. And Scotty's Michael J. Fox Studios with the flux capacitor going back in time, letting all the Timo Meier haters know that Timo Meier is on fire. Devils beat the BJs 4-3 tonight at the Rock. Scotty, you're looking good, man. I like your glasses.
Oh?
Yeah.
Well, you got some nice specs on there yourself, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, new glasses, new look. Same old podcast. Glad the Devils won. I'm pretty happy.
Same old Elvis trying to give the Devils a blue Christmas Mers Lincolns, who for whatever reason seems to play like Marty Brodeur whenever he decides to face the Devils. But wow, what a game we were just treated to here at the Rock, getting, most importantly, a home victory. 2 in a row, Sam Wu. That doesn't happen very often so far this year for this team. So if there is anything we should be thankful for, it's another home victory that we can chalk up for this New Jersey team. Game number 33 on the season. Let's talk about it. End of the 5-game. What's up?
I have to interrupt this program. Max with the super chats. Victory Bucks, Woo Bucks. Give me fuel, give me fire. I love goals from Timo Meier. Woo! And he goes,
There we
Luke.
There we go.
And we're
That's
back
what
to
I'm
our
talking about.
regular programming.
Yes, game number 33 on the season at home, ending this 5-game homestand against the Blue Jackets, bottom feeder here in the Metro Division. Big news before the game. Nico Dawes was called back up from Utica. So he was the backup tonight, and we almost saw him there. There was a hot second there where we thought we were going to get some Nico Dawes action in net. Akira Schmid scratched. So we'll see what sort of corresponding moves are made. Maybe tonight, tomorrow. We'll see exactly what happens with Dawes getting called back if he's going to stay. Colin Miller back in the lineup. Congrats to you, sir, on the birth of your child. Very nice Christmas gift for you and the missus. Curtis Lazar out of the lineup, which means Brendan Smith goes back to the position I think we all wish he'll play all the time, which is left wing on that fourth line, which he does seem to do a very good job at. So Lazar out, and then the lines are getting kind of moved around over here. We still got the old MX3 happening. That's McLeod, Timo Meier, and Dawson Mercer. Holtzy's moving up to the second line. Was very excited to see him to get to play with Nico Hischier. Elvis back in the building. That's right, Mers Lincolns. He always plays the Devils really tough for whatever reason, and tonight was no different. Vanacek in net. Eric Halla moves down to the fourth line with Bastian and Brendan Smith, as we were talking about. And Sam Wu's best friend back in town, Damon Severson. After 9 seasons with the Devils, don't forget he was one of those draft picks that started playing when he was 18 years old. We had the sign-in trade in the offseason. We said goodbye to Damon Severson. He didn't score on the Blue Jackets tonight. I was kind of hoping he would, finally have a butt puck go the other way, but alas, it did not happen. But it was nice to see old Damon again, and got a good little video tribute there early in the first period and a standing ovation from the fans. So good for you, Mr. Severson. Let's talk about this game. And the Devils came out hot in the first period. And they've struggled at the start of games. Those first 5 minutes. Oh, by the way, I got to say hello. Almost forgot. Everybody on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Instagram, Twitch, X, and everyone down there at American Whiskey, drinking an Ann Crew brew, celebrating this Devils victory. Don't forget, tip your bartenders, take care of Alejandra, take care of Peyton, and vote for our girl Peyton in the Bar Boss. All the proceeds go to a very, very good charity. But each of the 4 lines had solid opportunities in the first 5 minutes of the game. The first one was Holtzy. He got fed a nice pass from Nico Hischier right in where he was in the center slot, and he let a shot go, and Elvis came up big like the hound dog that he is. Then Jack Hughes got an opportunity, also stopped. And then then Timo Meier got one, and then Simone Nemec got one while the fourth line was out there. The fourth line was basically, they were just all crashing the net, and Nemec was able to get a shot away from the high slot area. But again, Elvis came through on every single one of them. And then at 6:39 of the first period, it was the Blue Jackets that got on the board first, and this was kind of a troubling goal because I don't know about you, but every shot that went towards Vitek Vanacek tonight, it was, hold your breath, Vitek. Those rebounds were popping out there, and that is exactly how this first goal got scored. Big shot. I think it was from the point, or maybe it was from the side. Either way, it went off of Vanacek's leg, and it went out to like the face-off circle. Nate Bastian was there in front of the net where he was supposed to be, but he got so turned around because that puck was kicked out so far that it was out of his reach. It went right to Jake Bean, defenseman coming in, and he rips it over the shoulder, past the glove of Vitek Vanacek over there, and you're like, oh boy. Those rebounds are going to be trouble. They're going to be trouble again. And you start thinking, am I going to see Nico Dawes out there on the ice before this night is over? Well, Devils took a penalty, high sticking call. I think it was actually it was on Damon Severson. I believe he drew 2 penalties tonight, if I'm not mistaken. This one was on Palat. He goes into the box. Devils kill it off. And then, right as Palat is getting out of the box, he gets out of the box. Dawson Mercer brings the puck into the zone. Okay, he's kind of on the wing, brings it into the zone, and then he cuts towards the center of the ice. And instead of going towards the net, he kind of spins with his back towards the goal this way and throws a pass across the ice to Eric Halla, who was trailing him into the zone. And then who's trailing him? Palat, who just got out of the penalty box. So Mercer cuts in. He spins away with his back towards the goal. Pass across to Eric Halla, who just does a nice drop pass, like right in motion, to Palat behind him, who rifles it home for his 5th goal of the season. And I believe this is his first in like 8 or 9 games. Need Palat to be a little bit more consistent. We know that he is the quote-unquote playoff performer, but we need him to, chip in with those points a little bit more with that secondary scoring for this team to be successful. But Palat gets himself on the board and goes and totally redeems himself after that high-sticking call on Damon Severson. That's at 9:55 of the first period. An even strength goal coming from Dawson Mercer, the first of his 3 points on the night. His 7th assist of the season. Halla gets his 8th. And Palat, it is his 5th. Not too long after that, Jake Bean put another one off the crossbar for the Columbus Blue Jackets. But hey, crossbars don't count. So as Marty Brodeur used to say, I had it all the way. I had all the angles covered. The crossbar don't matter. So there you go. Vitek Vanacek had it all good there. Jack Hughes. Ooh, Jackie boy. Now, we've seen this in the last number of games. A bad turnover again in the defensive zone. This time it wasn't a pass, an errant pass. He literally just got the puck picked from him from behind by the trailing forward. from Columbus when he was trying to break out of the zone. Jackie Boy has got to take better care of that puck, especially in the defensive zone. Holtze had a really strong first period playing up there on the second line with Nico Hischier. We move into the second, and oh man, the Devils had two just glorious opportunities right in the opening minutes of the second period. I don't know how old Elvis got both of these. He was doing a little shake, rattle, and roll on the first one. It was Timo getting the puck over to Dawson Mercer, and Dawson's in front of the net, and he's able to put a backhand, and it looks like he's got his backhand going around Elvis Merzlikins, and he somehow gets the skate out there and just like with the skate blade kicks that puck, and oh man, was old DM pissed on the bench, throwing that water bottle, slamming that stick, and I could see it. I could see it. I would have been a little ticked too. It's just like, how in the hell did Elvis get that one? He got it by a sideburn. Let's say that. By the sideburn. Oh man. You know what? I have some of those old like 70s style Elvis sunglasses. I should have had them for the show tonight. You know what? Next time against the Blue Jackets. Or was this the last game? Whatever. It doesn't matter. And then right after that, Jesper Bratt. Holy Hanneman. Jesper Bratt coming up the wing does, I don't even know how he did this, like a backhand pass to himself through his own skates that also went through two other defensemen. It really is kind of like, Neo Matrix type of move where you're just like, is that physically possible? I'm not sure if that's actually physically possible, what I just saw on the ice. Was that a glitch in the Matrix? No, that was just Jesper Bratt. The Brutalizer coming through. He puts the pass after he gives it to himself through his legs and works himself through the defense. He sends a pass right over to Jack Hughes, who's in front. Elvis again with the save. And then Toffoli is right there at the side of the net to pounce on the rebound. And I believe whoever was there, it actually wasn't Damon Severson, but I don't remember which Blue Jackets defenseman was there, but they just got a piece of it as well. And the Toffoli rebound goes wide. So still 1-1 until Danforth. Oh man, this one, which it's tough because if you watch the replay, you see that Vitek Vanacek got his glove on this one, and he was kind of really tight. So he was plugging those holes, between the arms and the body. But man, he just needed to like stretch his glove hand out like 2 more inches, and he would have blocked this shot. But it was a nasty tip by Justin Danforth coming from Urasek, who was able to put the shot on net through traffic, and then Danforth just tipped it just a little bit, and you could see it threw Vanacek off. It was a really, really nice tip. I got to give that. That's one of those little hat tip type ones over there for that deflection. But Vanacek did get his glove on it, and you're like, oh. So it was very close there, but the Blue Jackets do take the lead at 8:28 of the second period, 2-1 with Danforth's 9th. Another even strength goal right there. And after that, Mikey McLeod, oh man, good old Damon Severson ran into his forward, created a breakaway from Mikey McLeod there. But alas, Elvis comes up big with another save. Once again, the Devils have a power play. Nothing too much happening there. Again, this power play is still a little bit broken. What are they? I know Captain Bill Spaulding said, I think he said 2 for the last 25 or 2 for the last 26. That's not good, for this team. This team with the firepower that they have should be, converting. I mean, we saw they were at unreal levels in the beginning of the season, but they need to even it out a little bit more because now they're dropping to these points where they should not be, on the negative side. They were overperforming earlier. Now they are underperforming. They need to find that consistency in the middle with that power play. They don't get much going, don't convert, and then they end up taking a penalty at the end of the second period. We go into the third. Devils are able to kill that off. All right, then I think they got another penalty, another power play after that. Nothing happens there either. And then Vitek Vanacek, this is where he took, a rifle shot right to the chest and shoulder area, and he was shaken up. And you're like, oh boy, here we go. Those days are ahead of us right here. Nico's getting warmed up there, getting the helmet on, ready to go, and Vanacek took him a minute, but he was able to shake it off, and he stayed in the game. Not too long after that, Devils power play, nothing happening there, and I have it written down right here, making Merzlikins look like Marty Brodeur, because the Devils were getting some good opportunities, but man, Elvis was just robbing them left and right. And then old DM got his second point of the night. Dawson Mercer finally, after that one in the first period that just got saved by Merzlikins with a skate blade, Dawson Mercer puts it in the net with the big one-time blast for his 9th of the year, tying it up 2-2 at 15:51 of the second period, coming from Simone Nemec, his 4th assist. And oh, baby, was this a blast. And Mercer got the puck right there in the high slot. Nemec had the, pass right across there. And Elvis can't shake, rattle, and roll his way across the crease fast enough. And Dawson Mercer slams it into the far side of the net, tied 2-2 right here in the third period. 15:51. I mean, this game is getting pretty late. It's in the late stages over here. And you're immediately thinking, okay, it was about 4.5 minutes left, 4 minutes and change. 15:51, 4:09 left. Probably heading into overtime here. But what happens? Holy jeez. At 17:34, you're like, this cannot be real. This must be another glitch in the Matrix. Siegenthaler, he's trying to send a pass across to Jesper Bratt, I believe. And he fans on it, and the puck is just kind of trickling out there, and Chinekov. Oh man, that's a hard one. I just looked up like I was practicing this name before, and then when you have to say some of these names afterwards, you're like, oh, damn it, that's a tongue twister over there. Chinekov just skates right out and gobbles up that loose puck and is basically in for a breakaway. Siegenthaler was trailing him, but, basically one-on-one action right there. And Vitek Vanacek comes out of his net, and he tries to do the old Marty Brodeur poke check, and not successful. It leaves his 5-hole wide open, and the puck just shoots right on through. For Chinekov's 10th of the year, unassisted at 17:34. And you're like, are you frigging serious? The Blue Jackets. The worst team in the division. Are we really going to lose the last of this homestand and go, what would we be, 1-4 on the homestand? Oh, cannot do that. And Luke, like old 27 right over my shoulder here, he goes coast to coast. And let me tell you, the speed that he had, dare I say, that he would have made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. Just throwing that out there for all the Star Wars wonderful references that we got going on here with Luke Hughes Skywalker. And man, did he let a lightsaber of a shot right off the stick, top shelf, pure nastiness from Luke Hughes, and the Rock explodes as the Devils tie it up 3-3 with just over a minute to go at 18:35. Another even strength goal for the Devils. Luke Hughes gets his 5th. Dawson Mercer gets his 3rd point of the night, his 8th assist. Jack Hughes gets his 26th assist of the season. That puts him at the big 4-0. He's drinking a 40 of points already on the season. So we're tied up after the knee-esque goal from Luke Hughes. And so we go into overtime. The Devils had, I think it was Jack Hughes actually got an opportunity very early. But then I took a look at my new Apple Watch, my refurbished Apple Watch. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for the Christmas gift. At it, and it said Timo time. Oh yes, because Timo Meier had himself a breakaway, and if you watch the replay of this, okay, they're in the defensive zone, and the pass is being made, and Timo Meier is the one who originally got in the way of the first pass, which made the puck start jumping. And then whoever was on the Blue Jackets defense, they could not gather it up and get possession of the puck. And Timo, after it hits off of him, kind of just loops around and poof, he is off to the races. Pure breakaway action. And he comes in and he's like, Elvis is about ready to leave the building, because I'm going to put all of my power and all of my might behind this shot. And damn it to hell, it's going through that 5-hole no matter what. And that is what happened for Timo Meier. Even though Merz Lincoln's got a piece of it, the puck goes through that 5-hole. And are you ready? Are you ready? Give me fuel, give me fire, give me goals from Timo Meier. Ooh, yeah. That is 4 goals in 3 games. Timo Meier is back, baby. That injury that's been plaguing him all season long, well, seems like it's finally healing up. Overtime game winner. The first for Timo as a New Jersey Devil at 2:12 of OT, even strength goal, his 9th of the year, unassisted. Devils win, pick up the 2 points, a very important 2 points, get their 2nd win on this homestand, which we know they've struggled at home this year, with the goal from Timo Meier. And just in case you're wondering, yes, I did wear the Slayer South of Heaven shirt once again, like last game. I know Sam Wu doesn't have his neck brace on, even though he's supposed to, but I have the Slayer South of Heaven, because where are those Devils? They are south of heaven. And they win the game. 4-3. Shots on goal for the Devils. 8, 10, 15, 2 for a Slayer Raining Blood tribute of 35 raining pucks from the Devils on the ice. The Blue Jackets, 9, 8, 11, 1 for a total of 29. Face-offs. Now, the Blue Jackets, not so strong, but man, did they come to play tonight. The Devils only got them by 2. 30 face-off wins to the Blue Jackets 28. Both teams were 0 for 3 on the power play. Devils were out hit 25-16. But the block shots pretty even here. Blue Jackets had 23. The Devils had 21. Woo! It was a nail biter. But let me tell you, this team needed to pull this one off. And they were facing a goalie that, for whatever reason, always plays them really, really tough. So Devils come through with the OT victory, pick up those 2 points, and send us fans home happy a couple days after Christmas. Want to know what you think about it on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Instagram, Twitch, X, wherever the hell you might be listening to right now. Big shout to our man DJ. who was sent us a little Facebook message saying, "I called it, baby. I called it." So good on you, DJ. But yeah, now we got to check in with the man who's got the wonderful spectacles going on in the bunker of Mrs. Wu's Displeasure Palace, Sam, by God, Wu. And Sam, I hope you got Mrs. Wu a nice little Christmas present. Look what I got. I got myself a Devil's little water bottle here. Huh? How about that? 32 ounces. I like it.
All I had to do is wrap myself as a gift.
Now, if you would. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Man, wouldn't I want to come home to that? Sam Wu in the George Costanza pose with a big red ribbon on his head. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Sign me up for some of that.
Hey, I just want to.
And by the way, if you're interested, that's on the Only Sam's account. You know, if you go to onlysams.com, you know, that's where you can get that sort of good content. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. Yeah. There are some technical difficulties right now. No,
okay.
I got to address this. I think it's fine right now, but you, Scotty, everything was fine. There's a problem with YouTube right now, and I think it may have stabilized. I don't know. But I was looking at some data while you were doing your monologue. Now, everything's good. The recording's good. Everything is good. It's just the YouTubers were not getting it. So, but I think you guys let us know in the chat if the feed is dropping or not, but it shouldn't be, according to my calculations right now. So, unfortunately, what it's called is it's called a server burp, where the server just burps, and we just happen to be on live air at that time. And so, if you want, Scotty, you can redo the monologue from.
Oh man!
No, I'm just kidding around. Yeah, everyone says all square on YouTube. Good. I was on
hamster to run faster to power it up. I'm sorry. Did you at least get the Timo Meier?
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, apologies, everyone. I had no idea that was happening, so my bad. Because I was looking at the the wrap up, the box score there. Okay, Steven Engel says YouTube is good now. All right, my bad, everyone. If I would have known, I would have let Sam Wu do a fix real quick. My apologies.
No.
But you can always.
It's okay, Scotty. I already fixed the problem. Well, actually, I didn't do anything. It's actually YouTube's thing. I was trying to, but the recording, like when we put the podcast on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts, that's going to be fine because actually we were doing. If the listeners on Facebook didn't have issues, or Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're all good.
So
now.
you guys didn't get all my horrible Elvis jokes about my sideburns and stuff. Okay, you didn't miss too much. Don't worry.
Yeah. All right. So I did stay at the fan address during the game, and it was like doom and gloom with the podcast in the beginning. Nick was expecting the Devils to lose. But Timo Meier is obviously getting hot right now. Remember, he is not an October-type player. He starts to peak, or not starts to peak. He starts to really get going around November and December, but, with the injury, of course, and then coming back and just coming back from that injury. He was obviously not 100%. And guess what? Guess what happened? Now he's on fire. And it's like what he told Amanda Stein. He's kind of like Heinz 57 ketchup. You tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it. Eventually it'll all flow out. And right now it's all flowing out right now. And I see everybody saying that YouTube is burping, all that kind of stuff, Scotty. But you can still hear me, right? Nothing we can
I can
really
still
do.
hear you, Sam Wolf. You can still hear me. I'm starting to get a little
Jittery?
little freeze action going on over here as well. So, but I got you.
Yeah. I'm trying. I'm trying here. There's nothing I could do. Really. It's unfortunate, but anyway, let's not talk about tech stuff. Let's just keep on going. Hopefully we can finish this podcast. Hopefully this is not like a train wreck like the Columbus Blue Jackets. But right now it's good for the moment.
Oh.
What was the ooh for?
You said a train wreck like the Columbus.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Anyway, I'm multitasking right now because I'm seeing like alarm bells flashing, all that. It should be good now, but anyway, maybe.
All right. We'll see how it goes here. Apologies to everyone. We're trying.
Yeah.
We're trying here.
Maybe YouTube for a split second there, it was using James Dolan internet.
I don't know. I'm getting some of those things where like everything stops and then it goes in like fast forward motion, like and then catches up. So I'm not sure. Maybe it is my wonderful Spectrum internet.
It could be.
That is just
It could be
being fantastic right now.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any issues with the game. Everything was going.
Yeah.
All my game feeds were all good and everything. So
well, you want to know something, Scotty? Then St. Paul, four goals for Timo since posting the Finding Timo meme, Sam. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You can't coddle these guys. You got to insult them and then get them going. You know?
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me goals from Timo Meier. Ooh, yeah.
But anyway, just a wonderful comeback. I almost want to just rub it in Nick Villano's face, like, stop being so negative.
It was. I almost forgot to mention that. Was that their 11th comeback win of the year?
Yeah, and this was at home.
This was at home.
It was at home.
Mightily. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, Sam Wu. When Timo Meier when I saw him breaking out, I was just like, oh please, let this happen. Let this happen right now. Please let this happen. And when that goal went in, I screamed. I was just like, yeah! Like, I was so happy that they did not, waste this opportunity on the home ice for those 2 points. Then we would all been upset, talking about how they blew it against a bad team or whatever. But you gotta give credit to old Elvis there. Whatever it is, he has got the Devils' number. He stood on his head in this game. He really kept the Blue Jackets in it because the Devils had a number of really high quality opportunities.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I wish that was a Marino call. That Meier goal. I almost wanted to say, intercepted by Meier. He's in the 50, 40, 30, 20. One man to beat. Touchdown, Devils.
JP is wondering if Elvis was auditioning for a role on the Devils. He might have been.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know. We're going to see what Fitzy's got up his sleeve there. I think with Nico Dawes coming up and, Lindy saying we want to have him start, getting some shots against some actual NHL caliber players, I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a start or two while he's here. I don't know how long he's going to be here for. Don't forget, Nico Dawes is just coming off of hip surgery, but in the 3 games that he's played at Utica, he's done very well. We'll say that. He has done very well.
His save percentage is pretty outstanding after first 3 games coming back from surgery, especially hip surgery for a goalie.
Oh, Max, that's right. Woo! Luke used the force to move the defenders. Did my Luke went coast to coast faster than he made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs? Did that joke come through, or did that get glitched on YouTube?
It probably got glitched.
I had all these Star Wars jokes for the Luke stuff. Man, you underestimate my power, Elvis. You don't know who I am. I am Luke Hughes Skywalker, defender of Newark, New Jersey.
Timo Meier gives Elvis some burning love in OT. Thank you for the super chat, the BDA.
Very nicely done.
It would have been great if Spalding made the call, and Meier has left the building.
No, Max in St. Pollock says I got glitched. So a bunch of my horrible comedy got glitched tonight. Oh, well, damn it.
You know what I'll do? Maybe tomorrow.
It's okay. When
I can replay it. I can replay it live.
It'll go up later. It's okay. But Max didn't hear the Timo either. Oh man. Yeah, we were. At least I was having some fun.
Well, we had a lot of viewers, and then suddenly it just dropped by like 20% every 2 seconds. So it was weird. Okay. It's all on. I just blame YouTube on YouTube.
My internet seems to be fine now, so I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised because Spectrum out here in LA is not the best. It's not the best. It's not. I think Art Heaton was saying his Vios. Oh man, do I miss me some Verizon Vios internet? But it's like impossible to get out here in LA because Spectrum just has the stranglehold on everything. So yeah, that's what I got to work with.
Yep.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, JP, to see Dawes getting a start sometime soon to see what he's got. We've seen Akira Schmid kind of struggle. You know, we've seen Vitek Vanacek, though he's a gamer and he's going to go out there and he's going to compete and he's going to give it his all. He still has those, those moments like that first goal tonight where he gives up these really juicy rebounds, So we'll see what Nico Dawes has in store for us. There's still time, before the trade deadline. If Fitzy's going to, make a move or not, we're going to see how this plays out. Now with Colin Miller back, we'll see if that corpse gets shored up a little bit. I think Miller did a really good job playing with Luke Hughes, kind of, keeping him calm, keeping him in position, kind of, and Miller being more of like kind of a stay-home defenseman. And we've seen Ball kind of struggle and be out of position, where John Marino is trying to cover 2 to 3 people at one time by himself. I think this switch up, now that Luke is a lot more comfortable on the ice and he's got his lightsaber ready to go, I think moving him with John Marino is a really good move. And I think putting Ball back with Colin Miller, who is more, sound defensively and is always going to be in position. You're not going to see him cheating so much, on the pinches and getting caught, which, Brendan Smith, love him at the left wing, but we've seen Brendan Smith not only take just, bad penalties, but also, be out of position and sometimes get caught pinching because he just doesn't have the wheels anymore to be able to get back. And by the way, I do want to mention, now that I just popped in my head by getting back, Nico Hischier had an amazing back check to break up I think it was a 3-on-2 at one point during this game. I mean, he hustled his way right back to break up that play. So good on the captain right there for being a great example and a great leader of how this team should go out and play the game. But these lines are starting to look, pretty good. Jack, Jesper, Toffoli, Nico. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. Is Palat going to stay up there? I like the idea of Holtzy moving up. They had some good chemistry in the preseason, but also Holtzy has been really good down on that fourth line as well, providing a little bit of spark, to that fourth line. Tonight it was Halla, Brendan Smith, and Nate Bastian. Bastian obviously hasn't had a very you know, you see the way Mikey McLeod is breaking out this year. And, I think a lot of people hope that Bastion would kind of be a little bit more solid in his play throughout this year. He wasn't bad tonight, but he's had some games where he's just been completely invisible on the ice, and then he's not getting any shifts, halfway through the game. Tonight, that was not the case, but we have seen those games with Nathan Bastion before. So when we do get, some of the guys back in the lineup, like a Curtis Lazar, does Brendan Smith come out or does Nate Bastion come out? I think that's going to be a decision for Lindy Ruff to make, because, Lazar is going back in there because he's another gamer. He's not going to get you, 30 goals, but man, Curtis Lazar, he makes his presence felt on the ice every single game. And we'll see. I don't know, Noshik, I don't know if he's going to get back this season or not. But if he does, he might be another one that works his way back into the lineup. And Nate Bastion has always kind of been tied to Mikey McLeod, and now Mikey is kind of pulled away with this MX3 line there. I mean, that if the Devils can really get these three lines just chugging, whoo, baby, are they going to be nasty? Because you spread that offense out. If you get Holtzy starting to really, chip him in and start, don't forget, this is his first season at the NHL level. It's going to take some time. But if he starts really chipping him in, the way Nico plays, Palat, I don't know, Palat might get thrown back down to the fourth line, and Eric Haula might get moved up. Haula might go back with Jack, and Jesper Bratt might move with Nico Hischier. So there's a whole bunch of different combinations that they can do here. And it's nice to see all these guys just finding their roles. And that third line especially, just wow. I don't think anyone had that combination, to start the year. McLeod, Meier, and Mercer being on the same line. I don't think anyone had thought of that. And that line looks really, really good tonight, man. That Timo goal just, man, did it feel good. It just felt good. It's the guy that has been struggling, but we know it's been struggling with injuries. But we've seen the spark starting to come back. We've seen that jump in his legs. We've seen a much more solid game, 200-foot game, where he's not out of position, where he's not gassed, trying to skate back. This is the Timo Meier that we paid this money for and that we want to see. And I still think he has got ways to get. Oh, Johnny, thanks. Can I get a woo? You certainly can, sir. $71 grab some pine. Oh, Robert McLeod has been great entering the zone with the puck. Yeah. And he's been creating offense. That's the thing that's really, escaped Mikey McLeod. We know how good he is in the faceoff circle. We know he can kill penalties. We know he's got some feats there to get the skates moving. But the issue with him has always been, hey, can he get that consistent production going? And now with Timo Meier and Dawson Mercer, woo! Mikey McLeod has found his role here on this team as that third line center. And obviously a penalty kill specialist. And you've seen him in these OTs, who's out there on the ice taking faceoffs all the time. Mikey McLeod. And then who else is there? Nico Hischier or Eric Haula. If McLeod gets tossed, and then you got Haula or Hischier to go in there. And Nico ain't too shabby himself in the old faceoff circle. So it's coming together. It's been slow. But don't forget, last year at this time, what were we talking about? We need to fire Lindy Ruff immediately. He can't coach this team anymore. They're just going downhill. What's happening? Terror. Nightmare. Remember that second half of the season that this team put together? They're getting healthy. Are they going to start going that way?
Scotty, remember?
Can Nico Dawes be the Akira Schmidt of this year? Go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry.
Oh, Scotty, remember like during preseason and even during the playoffs last season, I was saying that it's all about the third line. It's all about the third line.
Mm-hmm.
That third line, I never could have imagined, but it makes total sense right now. The Meier, Mercer, and McLeod line could be that line in the playoffs that makes the tremendous difference where the Devils go far and deep into the playoffs. Think about how tough that line is. You're rolling the first two lines of Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier, whoever they're centering. And then you roll the third line, which, it's got a lot of beef. You've got a great face-off guy in McLeod. You've got a power forward in Timo Meier that can score, that can bang. And you've got a very durable, knock on wood, Dawson Mercer, who is now finding his game right now, where he's going hard to the net. That third line is what may, at least offensively, could help the Devils put them over the top in the playoffs. The fourth line, Bastian, a little disappointed in his game. He has to play. He needs to be the aggressor, like Lazar or Hala. You have to be the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to dictate the play. It seems like every time Bastian gets hit, he withstands it, and he tries to play a physical game. But you got to be the one dictating that in the offensive zone. And that's what I like to see more from Bastian. But, remember, Nosek is hurt. That fourth line might come together after trade deadline, and Lindy can roll four lines where the top two lines can outgas pretty much any of them, and then you roll the bottom six where you just pound, and just keep on pounding them. That can score as well.
Yeah. And I think that's it's a big positive for this team because, you look at that, that third line, that's your bottom six, and you got a top six forward on there in Timo Meier.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say you got a middle six guy with Dawson Mercer, probably a second or a third line guy. And then you got Mike McLeod, who you can say is a bottom six dude. But right now he's playing his best hockey of his career. Total package right now. Like Lex Luger back in the day. And Dawson Mercer, we know that he thrives when he plays with guys that are those 200-foot players. And now that Timo's getting his hustle back, Mikey McLeod is going to be up and down that ice. You saw it last year when Mercer, Tatar, and Nico Hischier got together for an extended period of time. Dawson Mercer carried this team. What do you have, like nine games in a row with a goal or something like that?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
It was like 3/4 of the season, like 3/4 of the season through, when that line got put together, and they were just all over the ice. So you see Dawson really finding his game. Man, I wish he got that backhand goal in the first period or the second period tonight? That feed from Timo Meier. That would have been really pretty. But he still put that other one home on the feed from Nemec, and then Timo Meier comes through, in OT. Your big gun. Getting healthy. It's going to be huge. But yeah, last year we were talking all doom and gloom. I know at New Year's I was saying Lindy Ruff can't be coaching this team anymore. Needs to be sent home, sent packing. A lot of you agreed with me. A lot of you were calling for Lindy's termination before that as well. But there was only one of us that went Han Solo and said we should stick with Lindy. And his name is Sam Wu. So we'll see if he can't straighten this team out once again. And we're going to hit the road, which we are very strong on the road. But what do we have again this week? Shout it out, Sam Wu. What do we got coming up again this week?
This week, what are you talking about? Devil's After Dark on Friday and Saturday?
That's right. Another wonderful back-to-back, which is the other part of the Devils game that they've struggled in. So they got Ottawa on Friday, a very winnable game. But then the second half of that back-to-back, they're in Boston. Ugh. That is going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a rowdy bunch. I know Max and Paul Marino, they're going to be cheering.
I'm sure they'll be up there in Boston cheering for the Devils. But that's going to be tough. This team has struggled mightily in the second half of back-to-backs. And you got to play Boston after that. The travel from Ottawa to Boston isn't that bad, but still, those back-to-back games like that and having to play Boston on the second half, whoa, man. Maybe if it was flip-flop the other way. But even the Sens got some jump in them. You have to deal with Kachuk and everything. So it's two tough games, but the big thing is the two areas we've struggled the most in is the home games and then the second half of the back-to-back. So let's hope that we're moving in the right direction here as we're going to come up on 2024. Somehow or another, it's already the new year. Don't understand how that happened. But we're going to go out in back-to-back style. And then, the following week, we have another back-to-back. Yeah, it's insane how many back-to-backs we have.
But let me tell you, the second half of that back-to-back, you're referring to January 5th and January 6th. That January 6th game, I'm guaranteeing a Devils victory. You know why? Do you know why? Because it's Rangers Suck Fortune Cookie Night at American Whiskey, presented by and Crew Brew, where we make winning memories together, one crew at a time.
And that's a home back-to-back.
Yes.
Chicago on Friday, a very winnable game, but then we got the Hughes Bowl again, with Quinn coming in with Vancouver on Saturday the 6th.
Yeah, and we'll also be playing Connor's mom over the loudspeakers on January 5th.
Connor's mom has got it going on. Oh, man. Almost forgot about that wonderful news story from earlier in this year. Well, two of the Calder, two gentlemen who should be in the Calder sweepstakes there, Luke Hughes and Connor
Bedard.
I almost said McDavid.
I'm gonna wear a Corey Perry jersey.
You're gonna wear a Corey Perry jersey? Try and get in his head.
Yeah, try to get in his head. And just start saying, Connor's mom has got it going on.
We're going to have Corey Perry, bum, 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 bum. Corey Perry, bum, 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 bum. We're going to have those chants going at the Rock. Oh, man.
That's going to haunt that kid forever. The urban legend. There's always these urban legend of some of these players that you hear.
Poor guy. Ugh. He can come play for the Devils if he wants. We got a couple good players you can team up there with, Connor, if you want.
I should give him a Ranger Suck fortune cookie, Connor Bedard.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah.
But we're excited. Glad the Devils got this victory here. Luke, just Niedermeyer-esque, going coast to coast, making the Kessel run in 12 parsecs, and then lightsabering that puck into the net, past old Elvis. No jailhouse rock tonight. No hunka burning love. Trying to think of more Elvis songs.
No
Blue
hound
Christmas.
dogs here.
No hound dogs. No shake, rattle, and roll. Trim your sideburns. It's like The Simpsons. Mattingly, I thought I told you to trim those sideburns. Merce Lincolns, I thought I told you to trim those sideburns. Yeah, Ted Bedard probably does, but whatever. Art eating fortune cookies and beer. Yeah. It makes for a wonderful evening.
Oh, I know. Hughes Bowl 2, that January 6th game.
That's going to be cool. I mean, it was pretty awesome seeing it on TV, and now the fans in Jersey are going to get to experience that on the ice. Pretty awesome that all three of those guys are going to be out there. I mean, let's knock on wood. Let's hope none of them, somehow come down with some injury or sickness or something like that. Want to see all three brothers out there on the ice. That's a really cool moment in the NHL. And glad we got to see it earlier and now get to see it in Newark. What was that? January the 6th. Love me tender. There we go. Thank you, Ted. Smithers.
Ramona's asking who's going to get traded.
Who's going to get traded? What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know. Ramona's getting ahead of herself.
For Elvis Mers Lincolns? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, Good Rockin' Tonight. There's another good Elvis song. Oh, how can we forget? Don't be cruel. To a devil that's true. Don't be cruel. When Timo Meier scores on you. You're the devil in disguise. How about that? You're the devil's in disguise.
That's actually a really good song.
All shook up. Elvis Merlikins, by the end of the game, was all shook up. Vitek Vanacek was all shook up for a hot minute. But then he said, "Let me tender. I'm okay. I'm a big old hunk of love." Right, Samu?
That's right. Is it time to
Samu
plug?
Samu was like a little less conversation.
Yeah.
A little more action. A little less conversation, a little more action.
Scotty, I don't know if you know about this, but I'll be on the road tomorrow.
You're on the road again?
Yeah, inline Morristown, where Shorts Guy and Lil Steve and Billy Dean and Schwim all play inline hockey. They will be participating in a charity event,
Wow.
raising money for families that are dealing with cancer. A lot of the proceeds go to those families that need help with bills, just to help them out. And they've raised over $2 million lifetime. So this charity's not a slouch. They do this every year. And they asked me, and the Let's Go Devils podcast, but they asked me to stream the game, and I will be debuting my play-by-play.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And when people hear your voice on the play-by-play, they can't help falling in love with you.
Wow.
I can't help falling in love with Sam Wu.
Well, Scotty, I don't know if you know about this, but I'll be on the road tomorrow.
You're on the road again?
Yeah, inline Morristown, where Shorts Guy and Lil Steve and Billy Dean and Schwim all play inline hockey. They will be participating in a charity event, raising money for families that are dealing with cancer. A lot of the proceeds go to those families that need help with bills, just to help them out. And they've raised over $2 million lifetime. So this charity is not a slouch. They do this every year. And they asked me,
That's what Mrs. Wu sings all the time.
No, she sings, "Are you lonesome tonight?"
Oh, don't be going with those suspicious minds. Okay? Okay.
That's a good
Samu?
song. That's a good song.
Ah!
Ah.
And don't get caught in the Kentucky rain, all right?
So I'll be down in Morristown, New Jersey, from 7 to 9 p.m. doing play-by-play. I'm going to be like, and another one gets by shorts guy. What? He expects to be an E-bug? He's already let up 13 goals.
Oh, man. I'm trying to think of a Little Sister parody over here. Little Samu, don't you? Little Samu, don't you? Don't you score me once or twice and treat me very nice and then you're gone. Samu, don't you do what that other goalie done. No, Sam was like, he's like, I gotta look up more Elvis songs because I ran out of them.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing as well.
I'm looking up my Elvis 50 golden hits or whatever this double album is that I have of Elvis songs.
Yeah.
Listen, Sam, it's now or never. All right.
Yeah. In Arizona, in Vegas, we'll be in the Heartbreak Hotel.
Oh, oh, nicely done.
Yeah, I cheated. I got it. I'm on my phone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, JP, I know my music. Don't worry. Drummer. I listen to more than just metal. I just love metal. That's all. But I know my music. Sam Wu, on the other hand, I don't know. We gotta teach Sam Wu.
I the only music I know is that what's been on my iPod since 2006.
Yes, we know. Disturbed and who was the other one? Creed was Sam Wu's iPod. And you take Sam Wu higher to a place where the devils win.
I remember they played that song after the Mets lost to the Braves in 1999.
Ugh.
You know, when the Mets actually came back in that Game 6, and then ESPN was playing the highlights and seeing, Agarro Alfonso.
That team broke my heart. Like, I mean, the Mets always break my heart, but the 99 team really, that was like one of my all-time favorite teams. Watching them play, and then
Kenny effing Rogers. You had to put him out.
Walking.
I was like,
walking in.
If you're going to have Kenny Rogers out there, you might as well just hit the guy.
Yeah, it was Kenny Rogers. At least we, and then we had the Devils. What was it? The next year?
Yeah,
or the year after that? 01, right? Was when they lost to Colorado.
Oh, that was terrible.
I still say that was like the greatest Devils team that I ever saw.
Yeah.
And they lost that Game 7. And that was probably the best Mets team. I mean, other than the 86 team, but I was only 6 years old then. But that 99 team that they lost to the Braves in that championship series, that team was just so much fun. That was so much fun. That was like my Mets team over there. But either way, Piazza, that's right. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, either way, Elvis left the building without a W tonight against the New Jersey Devils. He played well, and so did the Blue Jackets. Got to give them a little credit. They came to play tonight. They didn't just roll over either, which they could have. But they played well tonight. And the Devils, even though they had some shaky times, they were able to fight their way through this and grind out a home victory to wrap up this homestand on a positive note. After losing 3 in a row, they win 2 in a row. And they got to start working their way back. Like Timo Meier said, I don't know if you caught the post-game interview there on the ice with the wonderful Erica Wachter, who I know Sam Wu saw the other night when he was at the game. He said, we want to make this a difficult place for teams to come and play. We want to be better at home. And that's an important part because these guys are road warriors. They're 10-5 on the road right now.
Yep.
The home record, not so much.
That's why you got to intimidate them. You got to intimidate them. Even the fans, you got to intimidate the opposing team. You got to do your job. That's why I expect a lot of Corey Perry jerseys on January 5th. Anyway.
Thomas, you're absolutely right. We said it. That rush that made the Kessel run in 12 parsecs for Luke Hughes Skywalker was very Niedermeyer-esque. Just coast to coast, and he blew by and through all 5 Blue Jackets on the ice.
I think they were stunned when how fast he was skating. They weren't expecting it.
They had to be. He had those rocket skates on, like Johnny Knoxville and Jackass through the Buffalo herd. Of course, Johnny didn't make it that far and he fell. And
we got to take Roger Allen Wade to a game.
Oh, Raj, if he's on Facebook, happy late birthday to Roger Allen Wade. He had his birthday on Christmas Eve, along with Lemmy. So happy birthday to him. Love old Raj. Great guy. If you haven't, go pick up some of his music. Roger has some of the funniest and well written. Don't get me wrong. Now these are very well written, but holy hell, this guy, I am intimidated by him every time because he is so quick witted. I'm just like I cannot keep up with you, Roger. I don't know how he comes up with some of the funny that he does. You got to go listen to some of his songs like DRUNK, All Liquored Up. Oh man. Hauling ass. Oh man, there's just so many good ones that he has. Some of them I can't probably say the titles of right now because there's one that just came into my head. She's gone back to a certain profession. We'll just say that she's gone back to a certain profession.
Grant Marshall.
Sort of. Yeah. We'll go look up Raj. Some of his great stuff. It's really, really fantastic. It's just him and his guitar. Just nailing it.
Well, Scotty, I think it's time to close the podcast.
Yeah.
Want to thank all those sticking with us with those technical difficulties. I think we're doing fine right now. And we'll be back. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. Streaming live from Inline Morristown in Morristown, New Jersey, my old stomping grounds. Morristown's got really yuppie. Like, really yuppie. That's why.
Wasn't it always?
No, it's bad now. Like, back in the day, you had some yuppies, and then, But now it's... Yeah.
As everyone knows, I'm a metal guy, so everyone's a yuppie to me, so, Yeah.
I'll tell you more off air. No,
okay, all right.
There were some rough, rough moments in Morristown growing up, but now it's like, oh my goodness. Oh, trying to find the music, Scotty.
Samu is stalling over here because he still hasn't labeled what music is what.
Because I'm a busy guy. He's a busy guy. I'm a busy guy.
He even got those glasses so he can see better.
Yeah.
Mrs. Wu's just like, put these on already.
Want to thank all those tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow night. Till next time, let's go Devils.